Hi, my name is Jason Kidner. I'm an enterprise solutions architect with Valiantus. Valiantus is an Atlassian Platinum solution partner and an award-winning Tempo partner. In this video, I'm going to present a short overview of the Planner by Tempo app. So we're going to go through a couple of introductory thoughts, and then I'm going to demo some of the features of Planner. So Tempo, which develops Planner, is a long-standing app developer in the Atlassian ecosystem, and Tempo has won many awards from Atlassian. Planner by Tempo is a Tempo app in the Atlassian marketplace for capacity planning for both individuals and teams within Jira. Planner can be installed independently from other Tempo apps like timesheets or budgets. Now, where timesheets answers the question, what is my team actually working on? Planner answers the question, what should my teams or people be working on? It is forward-looking. Planner assists leadership in identifying resource gaps, making recruiting decisions, basically looking at where's the demand we have and how can we meet that with the supply of our people and teams. And then lastly, Planner requires the use of Tempo teams to help determine who can plan people's time and to support team-level planning. So now I'm going to go into one of our cloud instances and focus on, again, the cloud version of the Planner by Tempo app. So we're in a Jira Cloud instance, and to get to any of the Tempo apps, including Planner, you would go to the apps dropdown and choose the Tempo option. You first come into your My Work area if you also have timesheets here, but I want to show you first the Tempo Teams area, because again, this is required to use Tempo Planner. So here, your Jira or Tempo admins and potentially your Tempo team admins have the ability to create teams. Let's look at one of the teams I am the lead on. So team has a name, a team lead, then you add people into your team. You can also add generic resources as well into your team. You can pick one that might be already used or add others, and you can add those generic resources again to help with planning for potential needs you have in the future. So you can add regular users or generic resources and link these teams to various projects. That'll come in handy when I talk about the Tempo Teams field. Then the key with Tempo Teams, amongst other things, is you have this permissioning area where your team lead is typically able to do everything in the team, including manage work logs and manage plans. And you can also add other users in here to manage plans if you have that sort of role that goes cross-team. But this allows you to set up the ability for other users to plan time for people and teams within your company. And then if we go back to the overview, just one other thing to note about teams, there is this team capacity view that comes with Planner. And this summarizes how many people are in your team, the amount of the FTE that your team has for capacity. And then it also shows any other projects or epics that are where time is being planned out by the whole team, not just the individual, but by the team. So that's another feature that comes in here with Planner. So once your teams are set up, then we can go into the planning part of Tempo, which again comes in with the Planner by Tempo app. And here we can do a couple of things. We can plan by resources or we can plan by team. So first we land in the Planning by Resource tab. And as you can see here, the resources are your users that have to be Jira users. They're in here. You can also see that there's the ability to also plan time on those generic resources as well. And planning time is similar to logging time. If you're used to logging time with timesheets, you come in on a given day, or you can also extend this to multiple days. But the key with planning time is you can plan time for a user or a generic resource on an issue or an entire project. So you may not know the issues or have your work broken down to a level that you want to plan on, but you would likely have a Jira project in place. So I'm going to choose Ben here, and I'm just going to plan his time out that he's going to be working in this sample Scrum project. And you pick a start and end date. Again, with Planner, compared to timesheets, you can plan over multiple days. You can plan out a whole year in advance. For Ben, I'm just going to focus on this particular week, And I'm going to say that he's going to be working 8 hours per day on this particular project. Clicking the plan time button then shows the plan time Ben has, and you see these nice check boxes, which means that 8 hours that's been planned meets Ben's workload scheme that has 8 hours in it. So he's all good. If you go over, it's going to be red. If you're under, it's going to be like yellowish orange. So it gives a lot of color coding here to help understand where you're at with capacity planning and so in resource planning. So that's how you plan out individuals' times, and you can again plan these out across many days, and the weekends can also be taken into account, again based around how you've set up your workload scheme within Tempo. There's also the ability to plan at the team level. So here's an example of that. You can bring in one or more teams into this view. Again, you have to have permissions to be able to plan the time in those teams, but once you do, you can bring in teams here. We have 2 teams, and note that this has a couple things going on. First, this is set up by weeks. You can adjust this to go months or quarters. And then notice Team Legends has some epics assigned here. And so this is where that Tempo Teams field comes into play. In order for these epics to appear here in this UI, both a team has to be chosen, one team at a time in the Tempo Team field. So that would have to be added to an epic. A team would be chosen. Also, the start and due dates that come out of the box with Jira, they would have to be added to an epic, and dates would have to be put into those fields. And once they are, then the epics would show up with a certain timeline here in this planning UI for a given team. And so you can start to, then see what all is this team working on. And you can then see the team members underneath the team. If you expand it, you can see what their plan time is being worked on. And then you also see this capacity bar where you can you can see the breakdown of the utilization rate based on the total capacity of a team and their allocations at the team level and at the individual level. So you can kind of see how much more capacity does this team have to plan with. And you can also note here that there are some team members that can be shared across multiple teams. So there's that. So that's the 2 main things: resource planning, team planning. One last thing to share is reporting. So if we come to the reports area, notice there's a number of reports options here on my screen. That's because I have all the Tempo apps installed. If you just had Planner installed, then you would see this plan time and potentially this plan versus actual. So with plan time, it does what it says. It's going to show you your plan time, and you can group this plan time in different ways. You can even filter it by teams, by users in different ways. So you can see how much time is being planned. And then that plan versus actual is going to give you that difference, showing you the comparison between the time you've planned for your people in your organization and the time they're actually spending. Are they spending the same amount of time on those issues? And you can start to gauge that. All right, so if you do have any more questions about Planner or anything related to Tempo apps or Atlassian products or solutions, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, or you can email me at jason.kidner@valiantus.com. Love to talk with you. Myself and other Valiantus product consultants have done many Tempo solutions for many different customers, and we now offer public and private trainings for Tempo apps as well. So thank you for watching.